The Cubs take game one of the Crosstown Classic with the Chicago White Sox clinching the Crosstown Cup. They poured on 7 runs early, gave 6 back, but ended up squeaking out a victory against their rival Chicago White Sox. Today, they go for the sweep with Justin Steele on the mound. We're going to talk about that and what it might mean for the Cubs and their playoff hopes as August wears along. That and more on this edition of the Cubs Baseball Channel. Make sure to like and subscribe, ring the bell, get in that comment section. Let us know how you're feeling about this team as they go for a 4-game series sweep and season sweep against the White Sox. Here's your invitation to our show. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Cubs Baseball Channel. My name is Anthony Pasquale, and you can find me on Twitter at @Ant_Pasquale3. Make sure to follow me on there, and you can find the Cubs Baseball Channel on Twitter, on Instagram, and on TikTok. So make sure to follow us along on those platforms as we continue to drop some Cubs content all over the social media universe. So make sure to follow along and engage with us on there. But coming into this series against the White Sox, the Cubs had won 3 out of 4 series against the Cardinals as of late. And then, of course, they just won a series again. Now heading into the series against the White Sox, the Cubs are looking to keep their momentum high and try to beat the worst team in baseball. Now, the difference is the Chicago White Sox, who are coming off a 21-game losing streak, just finally won a game. They cleaned house. They fired their manager. They fired the bench coach, first and third base coach, pitching coach. Everybody got fired. They're starting the new era of Chicago White Sox baseball, or at least starting to. And it comes right before the Cubs come into town. But the Cubs do get a win yesterday, 7-6 the final. If you remember both games at Wrigley earlier this season, those games were also 7-6. So all 3 Crosstown Classic games have been 7-6 wins by the Cubs. Of course, that means they clinched the Crosstown Cup back at home in Wrigley Field. But let's talk about yesterday's ball game. Jameson Taillon was not particularly sharp. He started the game, got the win, his 8th on the season, but his ERA jumped to 3.50. Still not bad, but he pitched 5 innings, allowed 9 hits, 5 runs, 4 strikeouts, and he did give up 2 homers. Out of the bullpen, the Cubs were pretty solid. Tyson Miller got a hold with a scoreless inning himself. Drew Smyly allowed 1 run on a homer to Andrew Benintendi in his 2/3 innings of work. Porter Hodge went an inning and a third, only allowed 1 hit and then struck out a batter as well. And Hector Neris, surprising nobody, gave everybody a heart attack once again, walking a guy and giving up 2 hits. So his bases loaded, but he comes away unscathed and gets his 16th save of the season. But the big storyline is the Cubs offense. They come out of the gates firing. Why don't we go in order just so we can talk about how it goes? So in the first inning, Ian Happ led off the game with a homer. It's good to see him starting to figure things out in that leadoff spot a little bit. Led off the game with a line drive to left field out of the right-handed spot. I think one of the biggest things we've seen out of Ian Happ this season is improvement on the right side of the plate. We know he's a really good hitter lefty, and he's got more power lefty, but right-handed this season, he has been much improved, and homering off of an all-star and Garrett Crochet certainly is a testament to his effort to improve on the right-hand side of the plate, and it got the Cubs up 1-0. A few batters later, Cody Bellinger hit a 2-run homer to give the Cubs a 3-0 lead. In the top of the second inning, Crow-Armstrong hit a triple. He came in to score later in that inning. Isaac Paredes launched his 18th homer of the season, his second as a Cub, driving in Cody Bellinger. Then back-to-back homers followed with Nico Hoerner going yard on a liner to left field. Then the Cubs gave up the next 6 runs. That was the rest of the story. The Cubs scored 7, and they were up 7-0, and then the White Sox battled back to make it 7-6. And as you're getting late into this game, you think, man, this game is turning in almost to another heartbreaker that we're going to have to think back when the Cubs missed the playoffs at the end of the season is another game that we can circle as, man, if they would have won that, maybe they'd have a better chance. But instead, they flipped the script. They were able to get the game under control and secure the win. 8th and 9th innings may not have been clean, but they come out as zeros on the scoreboard, and the Cubs come away with the win. They had 7 runs on 16 hits. They allowed 6 runs on 14 hits. So it wasn't their sharpest game, but a win is a win in the win column, and that means so much for this team as they continue to try to push toward playoff contention. They are now 2 games under 500, which is as close as they've been to the 500 mark in quite some time. And according to all the different metrics that rank strength of schedule, the Cubs have the easiest schedule left in the National League and the 3rd easiest overall in baseball. And obviously that starts with the White Sox, but you've got teams like the Tigers, the Blue Jays, the Nationals, the A's, the Rockies, Marlins, all coming up as well over the next couple of months. The Cubs are no longer tied for last place, and they're actually no longer tied for 4th place. In fact, the Cubs are currently tied for 3rd place in the NL Central. The Reds lost to the Brewers yesterday, dropping the Reds into last place. The Pirates lost, so the Cubs win puts them in a tie with the Pirates in 3rd place in the NL Central. 9.5 games back as the Brewers are red hot right now, but they're 4 back in the NL wildcard. The Mets lost yesterday. The Braves lost yesterday. So the Cubs picked up some games on just about everybody in that wildcard standings. Obviously, St. Louis won and the Giants won because they're playing some pretty good ball right now as well. So the Cubs are now tied with the Pirates. They've leaped the Reds. They've leaped the Nationals. They're a game and a half behind the Giants, 2.5 games behind the Cardinals, and surprisingly, only 3.5 games behind the New York Mets and Atlanta Braves. So the Cubs are within somewhat of a striking distance as we approach the middle of August. The playoff odds are still not fantastic. The Cubs have a 7.7% chance to make the playoffs, just a 2.3% chance to win the division. But as the Cubs continue to put wins in the win column and start to really be playing some better baseball, not only are they watchable, they're starting to get exciting, and you're starting to expect them to win on a daily basis. And today is going to be no different. The Cubs take on the Sox in Game 2 of the 2nd series of the Crosstown Classic, obviously still at Guaranteed Rate Field. 6:15 is the first pitch, and it's going to be the Cubs ace, Justin Steele, on the mound. 3-5 on the year with a 3.33 ERA. Looking to get that 4th win of the season and give the Cubs another win in the win column. Obviously playing some pretty good baseball as of late. The Cubs have won 3 in a row and 7-3 in their last 10 ball games. Steele hopes to go out there tonight and continue that stretch of baseball. He's up against Chris Flexen, a poor 2-11 on the season with a 5.53 ERA. Not a great season for Flexen. He's got, I think, a 15 or 16 start losing streak dating back to one of his starts in May. And the White Sox don't have a ton of experience against Steele, but the Cubs have a pretty good track record against Flexen. Cody Bellinger is hitting 300 against him. Dansby Swanson hitting a whopping 615 against him. Suzuki, Paredes, all hitting 333. Hoerner batting 375 against him. Happ 286. So the Cubs have some experience against Flexen. Not a whole lot of power, but the Cubs do have some hits. So hopefully they can string some hits together, get on the board early, and hopefully it's a stress-free win tonight for the Cubs. Can't take any team lightly, especially the White Sox in this Crosstown series. They play these games tougher, and you're going to get the best they have to offer. You just have to hope with the pride of Lucedale, Mississippi on the mound and your best lineup out there that your best is better than their best. And it should be. And the Cubs will be 1 game under 500 if they can win tonight. So we will keep our eyes on that. But guys, thank you so much for joining us as always and coming to the Cubs Baseball channel to talk some Cubs baseball with us. Cubs play the White Sox tonight. Make sure to like and subscribe. Get in that comment section. Let us know if you think there is a chance as this season continues to wear along. Make sure to follow us on TikTok, on Instagram, and on Twitter. But for now, go Cubs. Hopefully we're talking to you guys tomorrow night after another Cubs W.